welcome to a hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Well, y'all, hope your hump day's off to a great start. Hope your week is off to a great start so far. Saints minicamp is rolling along. Day 2 today. Yesterday, interestingly enough, we had heard that the Saints were bringing in David Johnson, former All-Pro running back, for a visit. And so they brought him in on Monday, and then he was out in the practice field Tuesday, and I presume we'll be there again today. So they're he's there on a tryout basis. So not just David Johnson, but former Saint offensive lineman Sinio Kelmete, if you remember him, and then Joe Schobert, who we mentioned on Friday as well, who worked out for or the Saints were bringing in. So a few guys there on a tryout basis. So good opportunity for them to get on the field, see what they got running around there. So the other good news. Everyone who was supposed to be at Saints minicamp was at Saints minicamp. All your veteran guys, Kamara, Michael Thomas was there in uniform but not participating. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Tyrann Mathieu, Jarvis Landry, all of them. So no Marcus Davenport, no Peyton Turner. They're both injured. But here's hoping they can find a way to stay healthy, man. I think those two guys could be pivotal for this team because I think you're still going to lean more heavily on your defense than your offense. And if you have those two guys rotating on that defensive front, essentially 2 first-round picks rotating on your defensive front, along with Cam Jordan and Tano Passanio and David Onyemata and Shai Tuttle, and it makes you more dynamic, more versatile. So hope those guys get healthy. All right, fire away. See what y'all got. Collier Cranford entered the transfer portal yesterday. It's another little tidbit that we learned. So it's 3 players now. Gio, Brennan Holt, and Collier Cranford have announced that they've entered the portal. So, and there will be more. So we'll keep our ear to the ground and keep looking at that and keep our eyeballing the numbers for next year. All right, let's say some good mornings here. Bill Schmid, David Coslin, Brian Penton. What's good from Erlander, Kentucky, right outside of Cincinnati. I know right where that is, as a matter of fact. There's a casino, if I'm not mistaken, right at the bottom of that bridge where I think you cross, if you're crossing from Cincinnati into Kentucky, maybe if you're crossing from Kentucky right to Cincinnati, there's a casino like right at the base of that bridge. Vernell Thomas, Kelly Gross, Aaron Hornsby, Ricky Lambert, Truax, what's going on? Brant Roban, Morning Scone. We are heading down to NOLA for our anniversary in a few weeks. Okay, any recommendations on hotels? We were looking at the Hotel Montleon maybe. What restaurants do we absolutely have to try? Okay, so anybody that has recommendations, by the way, for Brant, hit him up there. So Montleon is great. You just have to decide what vibe you want. Do you want like old luxury, or do you want something a little more modern? Monteleone is great, but it's like that's old. I mean, you're right on Bourbon. Carousel Bar in the Monteleone is awesome. It's an iconic place, right? You just have to decide if you, but it's older, smaller rooms, all that sort of stuff. You have to decide if that's what you want. You could always go for like something super chic that's like way more modern and flashy, like Moxie or something like that. The Nopsy is where we stayed a couple of times. Great boutique hotel on Barone. So walking distance from everything. You have 2 bars downstairs, 1 pool bar upstairs. Really cool place, but again, a boutique hotel. And then you have like your really big places if you want to see your Marriott, your Hyatt, all that sort of stuff, that you could stay there right on Canal, which is convenient to everything. So we've stayed at the JW Marriott as well. Montleone's great. You just got to decide if that's where you want to go. If you want to go uptown, of course, you got why am I blanking? Where Jack Rose is. The Pontchartrain. Pontchartrain is another one of those kind of like old New Orleans hotels, but you feel like you're walking into a piece of history. They give you like a physical key, not a key card, like a physical key for your room. A lot of the history has been maintained in the Pontchartrain. Jack Rose is the restaurant in the Pontchartrain, which is magnificent if you're looking for multiple places to go at different parts of town. So if you're uptown and you go to the Pontchartrain of Jack Rose, if you ever see the pictures that a lot of people will post pictures, there's a big art gallery in the foyer at Jack Rose, and there's a huge picture of Lil Wayne. That everybody seemingly takes a picture with. It's a portrait of Lil Wayne that everyone seemingly takes a picture with and posts. It's a great photo op spot. If you do stay at Montleone, here it's become like New Orleans tourism. If you do stay at Montleone, you can eat at Redfish Grill, which is one of the Brennan spots. It's on Bourbon. It's a fantastic place. You can't go wrong with Dickie Brennan's if you want a steak. I have so many great options, man. Anybody else has recommendations? Hit them up. Newt Douglas, this doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but who do you think Brian Kelly gives the 7 and 18 jerseys to this year? So I have no idea, and I'm the wrong person to ask, but I think I remember somewhere along the way, someone had reported or said that that was going to be a player thing. That I don't think Brian Kelly was gonna make that decision. Could be wrong. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. Let's see. I'm just spinning here on YouTube. Y'all have me still on YouTube? Comments? Hope so. All right. Let me know if, okay, y'all got me on YouTube. Okay. Larry Garner, good morning. Randall Offrecht, morning, Matt. Hearing people on sports radio say Winston can break the passing record for a season, and the more I hear it, the more I'm starting to believe it. No, Randall, I don't believe that's the case. Look, the reason, so he did have a 5,000-yard season, obviously, in Tampa, and I said that a bunch, and I think he's very good, and will be very good this year. But I think the reason that he had to throw that much in Tampa is in part because they weren't very good and they were playing from behind. Think about Drew Brees, I think 2008, let's see. Actually, 2011 was, I think, Brees' best year when he should have been All-Pro, but Aaron Rodgers went 15-1. Or let's see, or MVP, I mean. Let's see. Brees' best season was 2011. He threw for 54.76. But 2008 was his first 5,000-yard season, 5,069. That was the team that went 8-8. So, they were, and their defense was bad, and they were always trying to play catch up. 2012, the worst defense in history. He threw for 51.77. So, I think, in 2016, they were 7-9. He threw for 52.08. Brees' best seasons were, except for 2011, when that team was just the best team in Saints history. Brees' best teams were when the defense was really bad and they were having to throw a bunch and play catch up. I think this defense is going to be good, and so he's not going to have to throw that much. I don't think this is going to be the best passing offense in the NFL. They're just not going to be dead last like they were last year, and I think far from it. Could they be top 10? I think that's plausible. Cliff Nelson, good morning. Jay Reach, A&M, second highest ranking left among, and most books have them with the highest odds to win it all. No, Jay, the highest odds that I saw yesterday were Texas and Stanford. Here you go. Okay. When you say highest odds, you must have meant like lowest odds. Like they're the highest ranked, but they have the worst odds. Okay, that must be what you meant. Because Stanford and Texas have the best odds, followed by Arkansas, Notre Dame, Ole Miss, Auburn, Oklahoma, then Texas A&M. That must be what you meant. Sorry if I misunderstood, but yes, they don't have the highest odds. They have like the lowest odds to win it all. The worst odds. Let's see. Carter Harris, can't wait to watch Landry and Matthew in black and gold. Yes, sir. Tim Gotro, Eric Wildrider, random thoughts while listening to your Guidry interview yesterday. Yeah, by the way, shout out to Gavin Guidry, LSU baseball signing. He came on yesterday. In college, do you have to DH for your pitcher? No, pitcher can hit. Thinking Guidry would hit in DH for Milazzo or something. No, you can't. If your catcher has to hit, but your pitcher can hit. If your pitcher hits, then you forfeit the DH. But the tricky part about that is if you forfeit the DH, you do for the entire game. So there was a guy, I'm blanking right now, Brian Johnson. That was it. Brian Johnson from Florida. Brian Johnson was a two-way player. I believe he was their Friday night guy. And when he came out of the game on the mound, he went and played first base. So he stayed in the game as a hitter. Yeah, so here you go. Let's see. That was another thing I remember about Brian Johnson is he got hit with a line drive in the head. So he was their starting. I think he was their Friday night guy, and then he hit 307. He hit 307 and had what a big power bat. 307 had 6 homers. But yeah, so he was a starting pitcher and hit 307. So it happens. There are two-way guys in college baseball. In the SEC for really good teams. That has happened before. Cliff Nelson, what's good, man? Yeah, smash the like button. Thank you so much. Tad Page, strong side. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Trivia Carter, what's going on? Tim, aren't going to Yankee Stadium soon. Yeah, I love catching games there. I've been 4 times myself. Yeah, Tim, so Erica and I are actually going. So my 40th, I turned 40 on July the 8th. But we can't get up there, and that's a Friday, but we can't get up there that weekend. So we're going to go 2 weekends prior. So not this coming weekend, but next weekend we'll be up in New York. So I'll take off Thursday and Friday, and we'll go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, fly home Sunday. And we're going to go watch the Yankees, who incidentally are playing the Astros. So I'll get to see Bregman. But I'm a little torn. I'm like, do I really want to let him know that I'll be in New York? Because I'm going to be cheering for the Yankees. Let's see. Cliff, break even tonight? What about lemon cookies? I don't know about the break even bottle yet. I'm trying to remember if Matt told me. So Cliff is talking about for Scone and Tea at Oliver Twist. I do not know what the break even bottle is tonight. Oh, he told me they were working on. He didn't tell me. He was like, we're working on something like really big, like really good. If we get it, that'll be it. But he hadn't told me yet. So I really don't know. And then lemon cookies, I don't think so because Erica has not made them. But she will. She was like, I need to make T-Bob some cookies. I'm sure she will soon, Cliff. But I don't believe so for tonight. Trivia, did you see Texas A&M calling for Nick Saban suspension and fine? Trivia talked about it on AFR on Monday. Brett Dagro, Gregory Carter, if you could sign any free agent for the Saints in this part of the offseason, who would it be? Well, that's the really tough part because I'd say the 2 spots that they need help the most are running back and tight end. And much of the running back free agent class has been signed, and really a guy like David Johnson might be the best available player. Available tight ends, Jimmy Graham's available, and that would be pretty fascinating, if you tried to have a redo there. Eric Ebron, Kyle Rudolph. I mean, you've got Jared Cook. You've got some pass-catching tight ends with skins on the wall who, if you get closer to the season, and like the Saints did last year with Quan, they didn't re-sign Quan last year until August the 5th. At this point, it could be like a negotiating game of chicken where you just hold out, and then you get closer and you say, all right, hey, look, you want to come to camp? Here's an offer. So, any of those guys, Graham and Jimmy Graham, Eric Ebron, Kyle Rudolph, all guys that have been, that fit sort of a similar mold, guys that have been good pass catching tight ends in their career, veteran guys that could be a boost to the Saints offensively. Well, let me go back to Newt Douglas asked about the 7 and 18 jerseys. I just don't care about jersey numbers, man. I just don't care. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know and I don't care. Sorry. That's a bad answer, but I don't care. As always, shout out to Brock, y'all. Brock, Rock and Wine. Save the date. August the 6th in Tiger Stadium. Food, wine, live music in Tiger Stadium, the South Stadium Club. So if you've never been up there, here's a great opportunity. Help raise money for a great cause and have a great event leading up to the football season. Ron Ritchie, Matt Godwin, Jason Horn, Kevin Roy, Courtney Storr. What's up, Dad? Good morning. Quentin Brakebill, Deborah Coward. Oh, good. A lot of recommendations here for Brandt. Let's see. St. John for Grigri. Brian Broom, what's going on? GW Fins. Yeah, there's so many great places in New Orleans, right? I mean, just great spot. Brandon English, what's up, Matt? Wish I was going to Sazerac with y'all. Yeah, looking forward to that. So Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge has a bus trip planned for this weekend at the Sazerac House. So we're going to do Sazerac House for a tour and tasting. We're going to hit up Avenue Pub, which if you've never been to Avenue Pub and you're a whiskey person, it's on St. Charles in New Orleans. They have an amazing selection, and they actually have super top shelf unicorns at affordable tasting prices. They'll do smaller pours, but I believe the woman's name who owns it is Polly, and I've never met her, but someone correct me if I'm wrong, but her whole thing, she loves bourbon and whiskey and just wants people who would appreciate it to have the opportunity to try it. Just because a lot of people are priced out usually at ever trying those unicorn bottles. So, so that, and then we're going to go to Urban South Brewery. So it's going to be a good day. Chase Pellegrin, Father John David Mathern, morning Scone, you'll appreciate this. Moving assignments in July, I was gifted another bottle of Blanton's, count us up to 4. People of God are so good, and the Lord is never outdone in generosity. Very nice, very nice. See, now, Padre, you need to get all the letters, right? You got to start making sure that you're collecting all the right letters to spell out Blanton's. That's another one. Brandon DeVille said Brendan McKay from Louisville is a 2-way. Yeah, there have been some good ones. Vernell Thomas, how likely the Saints to sign Ndamukong Suh? You know, Vernell, I talked about that I think last week because there was an ESPN piece that top remaining free agents and most likely places they signed, and they paired Suh with the Saints. I'd love it. How likely? That's really, I think, on him. The Saints have the cap space. They have the need at defensive tackle, and I think he would fit what they do very well. I mean, you pair Suh and David Onyemata in the middle, that's pretty formidable. And I get Ndamukong Suh's 35 years old, but he has never missed a game due to injury. And that physical position has never missed a game due to injury. And it was productive. I had 6 sacks last year as a 34-year-old. So, yeah, come on. Brand, if I wanted to play blackjack in NOLA, his hair is the best or only place to go. I think that's the only land-based casino, yes. How about the Bravos, 13 straight wins? There you go, Shelby. All right, but it just gave everybody else a little bit of a head start, right? Where are we? Trivia. Let's not forget Todd Peterson hit bombs when he had to come off the mound. Wendell Norman, Randall Offrecht. Matt, I've never flown before. How is it? You've never flown? Like you've never been in an airplane before? I don't know if you're serious, Randall. You've never flown in an airplane in your life? You mean you've never flown the plane? I've never flown a plane. Jeremy Nusslock. Got it. Morning, Matt. What's your official stance on soccer? Soccer is not really for me. It is undeniable the growth of the sport in the U.S. over the last decade plus. I think in the next decade, it will continue to grow and be immensely popular here because it started grassroots at the youth level. You drive by the Burbank soccer fields on a Saturday morning in Baton Rouge, and you're like, oh, I mean, that's what kids are doing. They're not playing football anymore, and parents are looking for those options, and a lot of kids are playing soccer. So I think that's why you've had such a boom in the sport here in the last decade. Even at the highest level, our country and our pro teams still don't compete, but it's very popular, and I think it'll continue to get popular. I just don't particularly like the game, and I've tried, man. I have tried, because as it gains popularity, if there comes points where I feel like I need to discuss it, but I have done the thing where you wake up on Saturday and you watch the Premier League, and I have tried, and I just cannot find any interest. And it's not that I'm opposed to new things. I wasn't an MMA fan, and I got hired to call some fights down at the River Center in 2008, and so I had to learn the sport, and so I started watching and learning, and the technical nature of the sport, and I just fell in love with the sport. So I'm not opposed to new things. That's just one I've never really set the hook with me. You know what I forgot yesterday? And I do not want to forget again. So let's do this now, by the way.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
All you need is HUDCO.
Call HUDCO Roofing.
364.
1007.
HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. We mentioned we have a commercial division. So yeah, we do residential roof repairs, replacements. We have a commercial division as well. It can handle any type of commercial roof. Mentioned that on AFR yesterday. Had a developer email me saying, we'd love for y'all to come bid on jobs. Boom, thank you. Would love to bid on every job you have. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Ooh, good memory on Tim Gotro. Florida lost the DH in 96, CWS, when Brad Wilkerson came in to pitch, then went back to right field. The automatic out from the pitcher spot was huge late in the innings. I remember the 96 College World Series for sure. LSU opened up the 96 World Series against Rice on a Friday night on ESPN2. No. Wichita State. It was Wichita State. 9-8 LSU won. Then LSU beat Florida 9-4. Had to beat them again 2-1, and then beat Miami. Rice was 97 when it was Brandon Larson and Lance Berkman, the 240 homer guys. Charlie Cavell, good morning. LSU Terrell Wild, good morning. Have a super day. Hug Drew for me. Will do. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Shelby, have you ever tried a combat sport? MMA, jiu-jitsu, karate, boxing, why or why not? I did. I did taekwondo as a kid, as a matter of fact. Not as an adult, but as a kid, I did. My body is so broken down right now. That's why I wouldn't do it right now. But I did taekwondo as a kid. It was actually really good. I was young, but it was really good. Like I went to a national tournament and won first place at a national tournament in forms. So had a giant trophy. Don't know. I think got thrown away some time ago. Wrap in batches. Good morning, Gregory Carter. What SEC football game in the season is going to be must watch? I would say Alabama and Texas A&M is going to be the one that's going to be the must watch. It'll be the CBS primetime game, and for very obvious reasons, it will be the must watch game of the year. Randall Alfrecht, never flown in a plane. Okay. Had the chances, always been afraid, so I drove everywhere. Yeah, man. Nothing to worry about. Like, statistically, you're way more likely to get into a car crash than you are to have any issue with a plane. It's a it's a very safe way to travel, and it's kind of cool, man, to be able to get where you want to go in super fast time. Now, airline travel can be a pain in the tuchus sometimes when you got to get to the airport and park and deal with lines and TSA and all that sort of waiting and all that sort of stuff. But you know, there's things you can do like TSA pre-check that sort of expedite that. You know, you have certain airlines where you have a reserved seat instead of like Southwest where it's just a giant cattle call. But to each their own, man. But yeah, flying's cool, man. Flying there's nothing to it, man. You just buckle yourself in. The takeoff and the landing is what gets most people a little anxious because it can be, you know, little bumpy. It's when you move the most. But no, it's cool, man. You do it once, you'll do it again and again and again and again and again. All right. Ooh, at 7:51 trivia. I just saw a clip of LaShawn McCoy saying Eric Berry is a terrible person, and that's why no one hired him as a head coach. And the Chiefs, not Eric Berry, Eric Bieniemy. Okay, Chiefs keep putting him out there for someone to take him. Any inside info? No, I don't have any inside info on that. Cliff Nelson, when I build my new house, does HUDCO do new construction? Can I make the contractor use them? You can absolutely make the contractor use them. When you build a new house, I mean, it's your budget, so you do what you want. And we would absolutely love to look at that, Cliff. 100% would love to look at that. So sometimes with new construction, it really depends on like budget and making the money work to where it makes sense. But yes, we would absolutely love to work with you on that. Alex Barnes, can we smash the like button, please, people? Show Scone the love. Thank you, Alex Barnes. I appreciate that. And Trivia Carter for the bajillion thumbs ups. Where are we? 44 watching, 18 likes. Get those likes up. That would be magnifical. And 36 on Facebook. So, cool. Let's see a couple more. Brian Wynn, Matt, wouldn't it drive the rest of college sports fans wild if two SEC teams ended up in the CWS finals? SEC just means more. I mean, it happened last year, Brian, you know, with Mississippi State and Vanderbilt. It wouldn't stun me if it happened again. I'll be very curious about Ole Miss because they are hot, and I think they have a 1-2 punch with DeLucia and Hunter Elliott to get through the first two games in the winner's bracket and have someone have to come back and beat them twice. So that's the team of which I would be most leery. I still think Texas and Stanford are the odds-on favorite, and probably with good reason. And we've talked about it, but Tennessee, Oregon State, and Stanford were the three best teams by a mile all year, and Tennessee and Oregon State have been eliminated. So Stanford's the best team remaining, and Texas was number one in the country early in the year before they had injuries, and they kind of face-planted a bit. But, boy, I mean, East Carolina was up by 5 and 5 outs away from Omaha, and gagged away that game 2 against Texas, and then Texas beat them in game 3. It's resiliency, man. They made it through, so we'll see. All right, last one. Brandon Hoyt, morning, Matt, with the defense that the Saints have and the offensive weapons, how much will the quarterback position be a factor? Well, it's always a factor, right? I mean, just look at what happened last year once James got hurt. And I understand your lack of offensive weapons, but they were still a productive offense. Jameis went out, and you weren't anymore. So, yeah. Now, the good thing is that you have Andy Dalton. And what I mean by that is you've got a guy that's started 200 games in his career and has been a starting quarterback, and I don't think anyone's going to confuse him for an elite player in the league anymore, but someone who can go functionally run your offense and keep the trains on the track if you need him for 3-4 games, like with Teddy Bridgewater back in 2018. So, yeah, I like where they are, though, man. Trivia, as a pilot in training, safety is number 1 in air travel. You should try it. There you go, Randall. All right, y'all, I think we're done. Thanks so much for watching. As always, shout out to Brock, HUDCO. They're tagged in the Facebook post, Brock Rock and Wine, August the 6th. Save that date, buy your ticket, brortho.com. And, of course, you need anything with a roof, we'd love to help you. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Y'all have an awesome day. LSU Daily and then AFR3. Scone and T. Scone and T return tonight. Both of us for the first time in 3 weeks. We'll see you there.